All right, so this is our kind of standard bighorn nymph rig for this time of year. We're first day of May. Running a leader, you can run a tapered leader, but essentially running down from our indicator. Using about a medium Oros here. I'm running roughly about 7.5 feet or so. Running down to a swivel, and I've got it's called a slip weight on here. So I've got some tungsten putty on there. This will slide on the leader if I throw it in shallow water from the boat. If I throw it in deep water, it'll kind of adjust to the bottom. From there, I'm running roughly 18, 20 inches or so. I've got some 4X fluorocarbon on here. My first fly is some sort of sow bug. It's just kind of a pink bead rainbow sow. Another 18, 20 inches down, same 4X, and we're in the afternoon here, so we're starting to see some bugs. This is just a little perdigon, kind of for the betas that are starting to move around, and lead it for a midge too. Yeah, so that's kind of the standard rig we're running here, wade fishing as well as fishing from the boat on the Bighorn here in the spring.
So Pete, how do you want me to fish this?
So we're on this big long shelf right here. Ideally, longer cast the better, but you want to throw your drift upstream as much as you can, not straight upstream. What are we, about a, I don't know, 30-degree angle? Obviously it depends on the spot you're in, but essentially you want to throw high enough up. You want to let those flies get down kind of in the zone until you're essentially leading into your spot. So for example, this spot right here, we're throwing it up on a shallower shelf, letting it sink. By the time it's hitting that drop, you're kind of getting your first mend in, which is where it's about straight across from you here, and that lets those flies just drop right in the bucket. Something I see here a lot on the river, I've had it with clients, I see people going by in the boat. People tend to fish more straight out in some of these spots. What happens is the further you cast out, the current's getting faster, faster, faster. So what that's doing is grabbing your bugs, everything, speeding them up past your indicator and all that. The way we're fishing here, by throwing it upstream, keeping some slack in the line, let it get down, it's obviously proven to be effective. And then you notice here at the bottom, feeding some slack out, letting it go out. I mean, essentially fish a wide angle, instead of this short window like Mark's fishing here. He's fishing a wide angle, so he's getting, the kind of the bulk of the run. And then, I'll fish these spots like this. I'll probably do, I don't know, 5, 6 drifts you think are great, and then step down maybe 5 feet or so, and kind of do the exact same thing. You'd be amazed by taking just a few steps. It just changes the angle of your drift and catch a fish.
And you want me to start as close to myself as I can and work my way out?
Correct, yeah. So we'll start in close. It's close by like maybe 10 feet of line or so. It depends on the spot, but this spot, yeah, pretty close. And then as you feel like you've gotten good drifts through the spot, my general rule, 3, 4 good drifts, work it out another few feet. Obviously there's some things to look for. If there's a good drop off, if there's a good seam line, there's certain things you want to look for. But on the Bighorn with this higher water, these fish are pushed way in tight sometimes. And as you saw those first few fish, they were sitting right out in front of us here. I mean, you could easily walk over those. And they'll eat pretty good on the swing here too sometimes, for some reason.
That's a fish.
Yeah, buddy.
You nailed it, Pete, in tight, hey?
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I see a lot of people walking too far out, especially with this little higher water we have. These fish are pushed up on these edges, and sometimes they're out, but why not start with an easier, shorter cast? And just had 2 fish there. That's a good fish. Yeah, and some of these fish we can kind of, in the faster, if we get like the big ones, I'll kind of walk them down a little, just get them out of that current. They've been tweaking those hooks a little.
Try to get them into the softer water closer to shore. Nice. Water skim right there. How do you like that?
Beautiful fish.
So don't ever discount the shallows before the drop, because those fish will be up in the shallows often, and then you're casting over fish to get the fish that may not even be there. So don't ever discount the stuff closest to you, fish close and then work your way out. Because if you don't, you start going right to the drop, you could be fishing over fish in order to get to the fish that may not even be there.